Sometime later, after not finding cheese for what seemed like a long time, Ha finally came across a huge cheese station which looked promising. When he went inside, however, he was most disappointed to discover that the cheese station was empty. This empty feeling has happened to me too often, he thought. He felt like giving up. Ha was losing his physical strength. He knew he was lost and was afraid he would not survive. He thought about turning around and heading back to Cheese Station C. At least if he made it back and him was still there, Ha wouldn't be alone. Then he asked himself the same question again. What would I do if I weren't afraid? Ha thought he was past his fear, but he was afraid more often than he'd like to admit, even to himself. He wasn't always sure what he was afraid of, but in his weakened condition, he knew now he was simply fearful of going on alone. Ha didn't know it, but he was running behind because he was still weighed down by fearful beliefs. Ha wondered if him had moved on, or if he was still paralyzed by his own fears. Then Ha remembered the times when he had felt best in the maze. It was when he was moving along. He wrote on the wall, knowing it was as much a reminder to himself as it was a marker for his friend, him, hopefully to follow. Moving in a new direction helps you find new cheese. Ha looked down the dark passageway and was aware of his fear. What lay ahead? Was it empty, or worse, were there dangers lurking? He began to imagine all kinds of frightening things that could happen to him. He was scaring himself to death. Then he laughed at himself. He realized his fears were making things worse, so he did what he would do if he wasn't afraid. He moved in a new direction. As he started running down the dark corridor, he began to smile. Ha didn't realize it yet, but he was discovering what nourished his soul. He was letting go and trusting what lay ahead for him, even though he did not know exactly what it was. To his surprise, Ha started to enjoy himself more and more. Why do I feel so good, he wondered. I don't have any cheese, and I don't know where I'm going. Before long, he knew why he felt good. He stopped to write again on the wall. When you move beyond your fears, you feel free. Ha realized he had been held captive by his own fear, moving in a new direction in freedom. Now he felt the cool breeze that was blowing in this part of the maze, and it was refreshing. He took in some deep breaths and felt invigorated by the movement. Once he had gotten past his fear, it turned out to be more enjoyable than he once believed it could be. Ha hadn't felt this way for a long time. He had almost forgotten how much fun it was to go for it. To make things even better, Ha started to paint a picture in his mind again. He saw himself in a great realistic detail, sitting in the middle of a pile of his favorite cheeses, from cheddar to brie. He saw himself eating the many cheeses he liked, and he enjoyed what he saw. Then he imagined how much he would enjoy all their great tastes. The more clearly he saw the image of himself enjoying the new cheese, the more real and believable it became. He could sense that he was going to find it. He wrote, imagining myself enjoying new cheese, even before I find it, leads me to it. Ha kept thinking about what he could gain instead of what he was losing. He wondered why he hadn't always thought that a change would lead to something worse. Now he realized that change could lead to something better. Why didn't I see this before, he asked himself. Then he raced through the maze with greater strength and agility. Before long, he spotted a cheese station and became excited as he noticed little pieces of new cheese near the entrance. They were types of cheese he had never seen before, but they looked great. He tried them and found that they were delicious. He ate most of the new cheese bits that were available and put a few in his pocket to have later and perhaps share with him. He began to regain his strength. He entered the cheese station with great excitement, but to his dismay, he found it was empty. Someone had already been there and had left only the few bits of new cheese. He realized that if he had moved sooner, he would very likely have found a great deal of new cheese here. Ha decided to go back and see if him was ready to join him. As he retraced his steps, he stopped and wrote on the wall, The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese.